The human ego is a very, very powerful instinct, a very, very powerful collection of instincts. Your ego compels you to assert yourself when you need to. Your ego compels you to measure the relative social status of those around you so you can look for opportunities to assert your status. Your ego is responsible for you being able to maintain a high level of self-esteem, a high level of self-worth, to assert that high level of self-worth and self-esteem into conversations, into social situations. But built into the ego is a trick, a trap, and that is the ego convinces us that our opinions are objectively true, because that makes it much easier for us to argue in favor of our opinions if we believe that they are objectively true. And because we believe our opinions are objectively true, that leads us to believe we can use logic to assert our opinions. But because they're not objectively true, logic will not work. This is why using logic to sell things to people will never work, because buying something, when you decide to buy something, it is an emotional decision. This is why using logic to try to seduce somebody, to convince a girl logically why she should give you her phone number, is the worst strategy ever. A better idea is to just accept that your opinion is just an opinion. The beliefs in your head are just beliefs. They're no truer or less true than anybody else's beliefs or opinions. But if you stick to the idea that your beliefs are objectively true, this sets up a never-ending ego battle. You believe you're right and you use logic, but they believe they're right and they use logic, and you crash into each other and nothing is resolved. This is why persuasion and seduction can seem to be a high probability failure with very low success rates. But consider two people from history, two great thinkers from history. One is Socrates. Socrates believed that everything was false. He knew that everything was false. All opinions are false. All beliefs are false. And he came up with the Socratic method to ask people questions about their ideas, about their beliefs, about their opinions, until their opinions contradicted themselves and collapsed. He could easily prove everybody wrong. But this won't win you any friends. This won't win you any lovers. This won't help you sell anything or persuade anybody. On the other hand, imagine Marcus Aurelius, who said in the book Meditations that everything is opinion. He accepted that everything is opinion. And from that starting point of accepting that everything is opinion, he had massive persuasive power. He had a massively strong frame. He didn't use logic to persuade people of his ideas. He used rhetoric. He used persuasive language technology, and he was a Roman emperor, a highly successful Roman emperor. And you can do the same. But it requires that you let go of the idea that your opinions, that your beliefs, that your ideas are objectively true. Accept that they are just opinions. Accept that they are just beliefs. This is hard to do. Most people can't do this. But if you can manage to do this, if you can manage to accept that your opinions are just opinions, that is the starting point for massive persuasive success, massive seduction success. Because with a strong frame and some linguistic tools, you can convince anybody of anything. This is how cult leaders are so powerful. If you read about the ideas of cult leaders on paper, they seem ridiculous. But people that believe in cults, they see the cult leader talking and they have such a strong frame. They have such a compelling presence that everything they say through this frame and through this presence seems true, and they believe it. They believe aliens are coming to rescue them. So get rid of the idea that your opinions are logically, objectively true. Get rid of the idea of using logic to convince people of your ideas, and accept Marcus Aurelius' strategy of having a strong frame, of using linguistic technology, of studying and learning linguistic presuppositions, of learning hypnotic language patterns, of learning the Milton model, and being able to use the Milton model to persuade people of your ideas, to use the Milton model to get girls interested in you, to combine the Milton model with your strong frame and persuade anybody to do anything. This all requires that you get rid of the idea, the instinctively programmed idea, that your ideas are objectively true. If you can get rid of this, like most people can't, but if you can get rid of this, you can become incredibly powerful. You can set yourself apart from everybody else, and you can be the leader they've been looking for. You can be the persuader that will make them do anything you want. You can become the seducer that will make any girl fall in love with you. By this one starting point idea of getting rid of the need to believe that your ideas are objectively true, and build a strong frame. Use hypnotic language patterns and become incredibly persuasive, and become incredibly seductive. If you're curious about learning more, check out the links below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.